Who is that? Let me see. Is that that's not Joyelle. Joyelle is red. Hold on a second. Hey, whoever that is, I'll see you in a second. Y'all know I'm up high and my phone is down low because my elliptical is up and then I'm up on the elliptical. So y'all know how I am with the comments. Sometimes I can't see them. Let's see. Uh-oh, let me turn this down. Top. Hey, Top. Let me see. Okay, I think that's better. Hopefully. Okay. Hey, Top. Happy Tuesday. How you doing? Hope you're doing good today. We're back on my best friend, Ellie. We're on Ellie Elliptical today. Again. Because I don't want to wait. I have to wait till it gets late. So, I was off today. I was off yesterday. So, we're inside on Ellie today. So yeah, I tried to get this so I got to adjust it though so I can see. And that's a lot better though. So happy Tuesday, happy Tuesday. If you come across this live, hello, 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 happy Tuesday. What's up today? Is it Taco Tuesday for you? Is it Talk About It Tuesday? What type of Tuesday is it for you? It is the second day of the work week. And I hope that your week has gotten off to a great start. Okay? Okay? Let's see. Hey lady. Okay, I see it now. Yes. Hey Ellie. Thank you. Ellie is my best friend. Okay. She doesn't lie. She doesn't stab you in the back. She doesn't cheat on you. She doesn't come looking for ways to use you. Okay? She doesn't come looking for ways to copy you, to duplicate you. She's just gonna help you out. Okay? And if your numbers look a little crazy on Ellie, guess what? Ellie is your friend. She's not lying to you, okay? All right? And if they look too crazy, then maybe you need to check the batteries, okay? That's the only time Ellie lies is when I need to check the battery. But Ellie is like, she's good. She's good. So happy Tuesday, everybody. Y'all, it's cool. It's definitely cooler inside, but I don't know. I might turn one of these lights off. That doesn't look too bad. Okay, I can leave that one off. Actually, I think that might be better. If you haven't done it yet today, do it later today. Okay? Do it later today. If you're outside, stay cool as cool as you possibly can. Because to be honest, we can't stay cool outside these days. Okay? Because it's hot. It's pitch. It's right in slap dab in the middle of summer. So you can only get so cool outside. But if you work in your garage or your carport, that's a little bit different. Most of us have access to some type of air down there. So it's not so bad. And if you have that open garage like a carport, put you some of those big fans out there. Okay? Put some of those big fans out there. And you'll feel good. So I can see y'all's comments a little bit better today because I pulled in the other device. So, I don't know. We might do 30 minutes. We may stay on for 2 hours like we did yesterday. I don't know. Time will tell. But thank you guys for joining. Those of you who say hello. Those of you who just, don't like to really talk in the chat. I understand. Believe you me, I understand. Because sometimes the chat ain't where it's at. You just want to watch the content creator. You just want to listen, because, look, nobody likes getting in the chat and there's a lot of confusion going on. So that's why we like a small chat. We keep it cute. We keep it quiet. Quiet, I mean like in a way where it's not all rowdy, amongst the commenters. It's not all rowdy. All right? We're respectful. If you don't want something done, we won't do it. Okay? And if you would like for something to be done, we will do it as long as it's within the realms of possibility. Okay? As long as it's within the realms of possibility. and it's positive. So some of y'all stop and say hello. Appreciate you. Some of y'all just stop for a few seconds, a few minutes. Appreciate you. But to the ones that's over here always seeking, looking, and lurking for some type of follow-up plan, y'all can stay where y'all at. Over here searching, lurking, and looking for new things and new ideas. And if you're going to do that, that's fine. But some of these folks just straight demons, demonic, obsessive, compulsively obsessive with you. So those people can stay away. Just put them under the list of trolls. Some of them you've had communication with before, but put them under the list of trolls. They act like trolls, they look like trolls, literally. And thank you for those thumbs. I appreciate you. Y'all know I don't make a big deal about that. Okay? We know what gets the money going, okay? And it's not so much as the thumbs. Thumbs they do help the algorithm. If your video is liked, that's one of the very many ways that they figure out that your video is liked, and they may push it. But there are so many other ways. So many other ways. Okay? Y'all, we was just talking about Ellie, how old she is. Ellie is about 12 years old. And sometimes she needs some WD-40. And sometimes not. So, and sometimes we use WD-40 and she still cuts the book. Okay? As far as the noise. But it's mostly because I took her off the platform. Like she's not screwed down and stationary anymore. I could just do whatever. So that's gonna happen. Okay, that's gonna happen. But sometimes she gets squeaky. So we just pull out the WD-40. We pull out the WD-40. It's raining? Really? Oh goodness. Hold on a second. Look, maybe it'll cool off. If it's raining, maybe things will cool off. Okay, I thought I heard the other phone ringing, but I guess not. Or they hung up. I think they hung up because it looks like it's a missed call. But anywho, again, I hope you guys are doing well. Okay. We're doing good. We're just trying to get it in for at least 30 minutes. At least 30 minutes. Thank you for being here. Y'all know we used to do Ellie a lot. We used to do Ellie all the time. And then I started going outside a lot. So you get a mix. You get Ellie. You get outdoors. Either way, we get the cardio in. Okay? We get the cardio in. It cooled off for 2 seconds. For 2 seconds. That's all top. I believe it. I believe you. Listen, I don't even know. We have been under a heat wave. Most places in this country, there's been like heat advisories. At one point, there was a heat wave. Thank goodness it didn't last long. But look, heat wave or not, it has been excessively hot. And we're about to go into August. We're about to go into August. And y'all know, for me, it seems like August is hotter than July. Now, you may have some years where July is hotter, but you know, June is okay. It starts to get a little, you know, spring is trying to prepare us, right? But when June comes, it's like they're telling us. Y'all know how the signs be like, it's almost Leo season, I'm coming. That's what June is saying. It's almost summer, I'm coming. And then it's hot, okay? In July, look, it does not play. July does not play. And again, some years it's hotter. It's the hottest month of the year. But to me, most years, August wins the award. August wins the award for hottest month of the year. So July has been something else. Again, we've had heat advisories. We've had a heat wave. So just be prepared. Who knows? Maybe August will give us a break. Maybe August will give us a break. I don't know. But I don't think so. I think it's going to be hot. I think it's going to be hot. So we're 11 minutes in. Y'all know when I do Ellie especially, I try to keep it to 30 minutes because we work out in the mornings, early in the mornings. And so in the evenings, when we do our walk and talks in Lions Pride, okay, when we do the Let's Walk and Talk in Lions Pride original in the evenings, that's kind of like, just like a stroll, just like a little stroll to, I call it my second cool down. Even though cool down is usually just like 3 minutes, 3 to 5 minutes. I call it my second cool down. I've always called it that. But when we're inside, shoot, I get on Ellie again for the second time. I try to keep it 30 minutes to an hour. 30 minutes to an hour. And I've been working Ellie hard, okay? I've been working her hard for the past couple of weeks. I've been working her hard. So we're just going at a steady pace. A smooth and steady, okay? Smooth and steady wins the race. A smooth and steady pace wins the race, all right? Smooth and steady pace wins the race. You want to speed up? That's absolutely, positively okay. Okay? Positively okay. If you want to slow down, that's okay. Go at your own pace. You know your fitness level, so stick with your fitness level. Stop trying to compete where you don't compare. We got too many people trying to compete where they don't compare. They get out here and they use equipment with poor form, looking wild and crazy. If you change up, they want to change up. If you switch up, they want to switch up. If you label your live this live, they want to label it that live. Okay? But just make sure you know what you're doing. Okay? Who is that? And who is that? Is that Georgia girl? It is. Hey, Georgia girl. You done running around? Your phone did exactly what you told us it was going to do. I tried to stay in there for a little while because I wasn't sure if it was going to come back up. Georgia girl says, hi there, Top. So I tried to hang around for a little while. And I said, Georgia girl said it was going to act up. Did you get more than you went to buy? Did you end up shopping to get more than you went to buy? I do it every time, Georgia girl. Look, some days I'm better than others, okay? Some days I don't need a list because I know what I'm supposed to be buying. And even when I get a list, I make a list, I still get more than what's on the list. Some days I do a lot better than other days, okay? Some days I might pick up 1 or 2 extra things. But some days I pick up $50 worth of extra stuff. If that ain't good, that's not good. Let's see. Top says, I will get on my elliptical after I start my infusion. Okay, Top. Georgia girl says, yes, it went out a few minutes. Yep. I never get what I supposed to stuff so high. I know. Oh my goodness, Georgia girl. Sometimes I'm in there looking for, it's like when you cook, you know what you like. And even when it's expensive, you be like, geez. But it's certain things that you cook with and you don't want like a substitute or you don't want a replacement. And it's like, you got to buy, you don't have to, but it's just your way of thinking. That's just how you like. You like what you like. And you end up having to get something that's name brand that maybe you could have got for like 50 cents to $1 cheaper. But usually, if it's going to be like, because some of the store brand stuff is expensive too. Not some of it, a lot of it. Okay? When these prices went up, everything went up. It doesn't matter if it's name brand or store brand. So if the name brand is only 50 cents or so more, I go ahead and get it. Because you're not really satisfied until you buy what you like. Until you really just buy what you like. So you might as well get it. It's like you have to pray about those prices. Pray about those. Look, pray about your pockets that you have enough to get the things that you want. Because when you go into the store, those prices are going to light up. They're gonna light up, even if it's the great value. If you're at Walmart, what does Target have? They have Sam's has Member Mark. What is somebody has Top Care or something like that? There are a lot of generic names, but like I said, those generics, they're not that cheap anymore. They're not that cheap anymore. So if the name brand or the brand that you like is gonna be like maybe 50 cents more, maybe 60 cents, you might as well get what you like. You might as well get what you like. It be coming from the okay. It comes from the same warehouse. Yep, it does. Now I will say there are some brands that do have like a quality taste. I'm not gonna lie. I like the taste of Kraft. I like the taste of Borden. I don't use cheese that much anymore, but when I do prefer Kraft. I do prefer Borden, and I prefer Velveeta. Ooh, ain't nothing like that Velveeta. But if I'm just gonna make like some nachos, I've been told that the Great Value brand of the cheese, the block cheese, they say it makes good nachos. They say it makes good nachos. True, some has a better, yeah, some it has a better taste, and sometimes though, whew, it just depends. It depends on my mood, because sometimes I can have, I have the money, but I'm like, I'm gonna get the cheaper version just to see. So sometimes I've done that, and it was a great, decision, and it lets me know, okay, I can buy this, and I don't have to spend the extra money to get a name brand. But then sometimes I get the generic, and it's like, I wasted my money. Because if I can get generic for $1.50, and the name brand is $2.10, and the generic doesn't taste good to me, I feel like I wasted the $1.50. I feel like I wasted it. So there are some things I'm only going to buy name brand when it comes to food. And then there are other things I'll only buy the store brand. I only buy the store brand. I do not supposed to eat cheese due to IBS, but girl, I have to have a little bit. Georgia girl, listen. Just get a little bit, just a little bit. A little bit in moderation. Yeah, because that cheese, oh my goodness, it can, y'all, listen, this channel is for adults only, okay? And the information and content in this channel by me, the content creator, and anybody in my chat is for informational purposes only, okay? Informational purposes only. We do not professionally, medically, or clinically, okay, assess anybody, diagnose anybody, treat anybody, or follow up with them to evaluate to see how things turned out for them. We want things to turn out great for everybody, okay? But we drop nuggets over here. In Lions Pride, we got a lot of nuggets on the ground, because we're always dropping nuggets. I drop nuggets. The chat drops a lot of nuggets. So those nuggets are there. When you see nuggets being dropped, pick them up, okay? Pick them up or catch them. Catch them before they hit the ground, okay? And see if some of those nuggets can work for you or for somebody that you know and love. It may not work for you, but it may work for your sister, your brother, your classmate, your church member, But always remind them to, if you're on some medicines especially, check with your primary healthcare provider. And if you're not on one medicine at all, always check with your primary healthcare provider. You know how you feel. Listen to how your body feels. You know how you eat with your eyes, okay? You eat with your eyes before you even taste the food, right? If it looks nasty, you're probably not going to taste it, right? Because we eat with our eyes. So you know how your body feels. Listen to how your body feels. Because the way it feels is telling you what you maybe should and should not be doing, okay? And definitely consult with, converse with, have conversation with, have open dialogue with your doctor, your nurse practitioner, his physician's assistant, if he's not there, okay? Your specialty doctors, kidney doctor, heart doctor, your ear, nose, and throat doctor, your psychologist, your psychiatrist. And as we know, half of what we do, a lot of it is in the diet. So you may have a dietitian, you may have a nutritionist. All of those people, you're a personal trainer at the gym. If you are fortunate enough to have a personal trainer to meet you or to come to your home, you're a motivational coach. That is all of those people. They're your healthcare team. You guys, and I tell you that every day. They are your community, but you are your biggest advocate, okay? You're your biggest advocate. They're your community. They form a circle around you. They're the cell and you're the nucleus, okay? They're the atom and you're the nucleus. You're the headquarters, right? You're the headquarters. Okay? So they do your blood work, they do all that stuff, and they listen to what you say. Hopefully, they listen to you. And then you guys formulate together what you should be doing. So what we do over here is we drop nuggets. Take some of those nuggets and research those nuggets. All right? And when you research, don't research from the first thing you see and run with it. Do research and use reputable sources. Reputable means with a good reputation. Use those sources with a good reputation, okay? And also talk to your doctor about what those sources say. All right? Talk to those doctors about what your sources say. What does Top say? That was a that was a typo. Let's see. Because when I'm walking, I have to be watching out. You got to keep your head on the swivel, all right? You got to try and be like an owl. Just look each and every way you can, every direction. You got to listen. You got to use all 5 plus senses. But when I'm on an Ellie, I only get a little distracted because I'm trying to look at the comments. But it doesn't bother me so much because I know I've already been on here once already. So I try to look at the comments a little bit more when I can. Some brands have more sugar and sodium. That's true. George Girl says, what have you been up to, Tops? That is say when talk wellness, not diagnosing anyone. Right. That's what I say, typo. Okay, I got you. Top says, hey, George Girl, I've been doing the same old thing, making products and preparing for game night. Okay. When is your game night? Tops, when is your game night? If she's not here, do you know when her game night is, Georgia Girl? And always remember, it's not just about cardio, okay? You need to do some resistance weight training, okay? Ladies, and gentlemen, you need to do some weight training. Use your weights. Use your free weights. If you don't have any weights, do you have canned goods? I know you got canned goods. Use those canned goods and do some arm curls, okay? Work on those arms. You shouldn't have anything squeezing you. Work on your arms. Put the work in. Because when it squeezes the sweat and the extra excess stuff out, guess what? When you take off all that squeezing stuff, it pops right back out. So do the work, and do it the right way. Remember, proper form, and the proper way. Okay? Proper form and the proper way. August 2nd. Okay, I got you, Top. Game night, August 2nd. What time is it? 9 o'clock. 9 o'clock. Is that Central, Eastern? Emoji game? Okay, emoji game. George Girl says, I'm still here listening. Thank you, George Girl. Okay. And before you put out information, listen. I see it so much. Those of us who are in health and fitness or healthcare, we have to get continuing education, because the education that we went to school for 4 years for, or more, some more, that information changes, okay? It changes. Some things are solid. Some things will stay the same. But there's so much in the world of fitness, in the world of health, till you shouldn't be out here just saying stuff and you have not been educated professionally. You don't have a documentation of certification or registration or a license. You have not taken any state board or any national board. So be careful of what you say. Be careful of what you say. There are so many people out here, and once we put out stuff, it's disseminated across the world. Maybe you look in your algorithm and you see, okay, they saw me a little bit in Asia, a little bit in Indonesia. 70% of the people were in the United States. Because there are things that change. Guess what? And I've said it, and later on that year, that thing is something different, okay? That thing is something different. So that's why I don't just give a disclaimer. I give a professional disclaimer, okay? A professional disclaimer. And you never know. Your channel can be for adults only, but you never know who may come across the information that you're putting out, whether it's an adult or a minor. You never know, okay? Because someone is an adult doesn't mean they won't listen to you. They may be in a state or a vulnerable state when what you're saying is what they want to hear, and it may be contrary to what they've been told by a professional. So just be careful of what you put out. Yeah, anybody can give a disclaimer, but for those of us who have licenses, registrations, and certifications, it means way, way more to us when we put out a disclaimer. Okay? It means way, way more because we have put things, we did the work. We did the work. We did the work. We did the studying. We did the test taking. We did the state certification test taking, okay, to get registered, to get licensed, to get certified in order to do the things that we do. So it kind of perturbs me to see people just saying some things, and I'm like, some of the things we say as professionals have changed. By the time we say it, it may be next week, or it could be 6 months from now, or it could be another year. And some of that stuff changes. A lot stays the same, but a lot changes. Okay, that's why we, even though we have those degrees, the licenses, we have to get education every couple of years. We have to go sit in classes all day, okay, all day for like anywhere from a day, anywhere from 8 hours to maybe 2 days, okay, because there may be something that we learned in school and we've been doing it for 5 years, and it may have changed. It may be okay to still do it, but maybe we have to do it a different way. Then again, it may be that we're not going to do it anymore. And you have to think about it. There are 50 states in this country. Some of the information changes, and it may start on the West Coast, and it'll take a minute to get all the way down south. It may start down south, and it takes a minute to get all the way up north to New York somewhere. It may start in New York, and it takes a minute to get to Texas. And then some of the big research hospitals, organizations, are on the same page. You know, they're on the same page. They know what's going on, but it's just a matter of who starts it. Okay? Who starts it? So sometimes the information changes and we haven't even gotten it yet. So yes, I definitely give a professional disclaimer. A lot to lose. Yes. Yes, Top. People be saying, oh, that's my disclaimer. Do you have a license? In case somebody, do you have a certification? Do you have a registration? No, you don't, but you do have a conscience as well. So even though, you know, it's good to give a disclaimer, because even if you don't have anything technical or formal that you're defending, you do want to defend your word, right? You want to defend your word. So maybe you've never went to any school. Maybe you graduated high school. Maybe you dropped out. But you do know, just because you didn't go to college doesn't mean you're not educated in something, especially if it's something that you've dealt with or someone you know has dealt with it. Those can be the most educated people, especially if, God forbid, somebody if somebody is pre-diabetic. They may go and research their butts off, okay? And they may know something that a healthcare provider hadn't even told them yet, because it's important to them now. Usually when things are important to us, that's when we grasp onto it, right? We grab a hold of it and we do as much research as we can. And that's why I say over here we drop nuggets. Okay, the chat drops nuggets. So anything I say, anything that the chat says, anything that we do, anything that I do, don't do anything you hear me say or do, okay, without doing your research. If you do, you're doing it at your own risk. You're doing it at your own risk, okay? We do not hold the responsibility for the things that you do. This is educational and informational purposes only. And though it's educational, some people are like, because I kind of was like that at first. Well, if it's educational, then you're educating people, you're going to be responsible. But what it is that you can educate somebody, and somebody in Walmart can educate you to something. You know, they may not have a degree. They may not have anything. They just have knowledge. So anybody can educate you, but is it good education, right? Is it the correct education? So I think that's, you know, you have to be careful about where you receive your education. That's why you have to do your own research. Do your own research, because you have to be careful about where you receive your education. Think about it. Some schools aren't that great. Some schools are the best schools in the country, the best schools in the world. And then you can have the best school in the world, but the professor that you happen to get for a certain class is one of the worst professors ever in that subject. So you have to be careful. Don't do anything you hear or say anybody else do until you do your own research. If you do, you're doing so at your own risk. Okay, so do your own research. Again, I always say the library is usually open every day. Okay, all right, go online, Google, but get the reputable sources. Okay, make sure that your source is reputable. All right, and then of course have that conversation with your healthcare team. All right, have that conversation with your healthcare team, and then just keep moving. Okay, keep moving, because I don't know a doctor, a nurse, a therapist, a physical therapist, an occupational therapist, a psychologist, a psychiatrist that does not want you to move, and keep moving. Be consistent. Be consistent and be persistent about being consistent. Okay, one step at a time, one foot in front of the other, and talk. Talk. If you can talk, that is a great sign of many things. If you cannot talk, if it doesn't sound good when you're talking, that is a sign that you need to stop talking and focus on your movement. Okay, focus on your movement. Um, Too hot to walk outside. Yes, I have, Georgia girl, and then the past couple of days, at the time that I normally go, I usually go like about 8 Eastern, because the sun is gone down. It's not only set, but it's just gone right down, and but it's still been humid. So I'll probably, if it's the Lord's will, I'll be outside probably tomorrow. But I didn't want to go outside every day this week because it's really, really humid. It's hot and it's humid. And even when the sun goes down, the humidity is still crazy. It's like, it's just high. I see my daughter do it. She's an RN, and she give me a lot of health information. I have my own nurse. Yes, a lot of people. Nurses that, listen, nursing is a profession where it's always short, right? It's always short, but there are a lot of nurses. There are a lot of nurses. There are a lot of active nurses. There are a lot of retired nurses. There are a lot of retired nurses who have gone back to work because the field needs the help. And I don't know, with this administration that we got now that's closing down small hospitals, it's causing people to lose their jobs. So nursing has been a field that you can walk out of one door and walk right into another door and get a job. Okay. But right now, with the crazy that we have going on in Washington and DC, closing down hospitals, closing down facilities that help people, facilities that accommodate you if your income is of such a level that you need help and assistance. You have a lot of clowns in Washington, on one side of the aisle, and the head clown in charge, okay, the HCIC, the head clown in charge, they're shutting down hospitals. So if you have family members who are in the medical field, whether it's a nurse, a doctor, physical therapist, occupational therapist, you don't know. Hold on, y'all. Okay, y'all, I'm back. I got a package. Oh, I got a package, y'all. I've been waiting for it too. Hold on, I had to jump off real quick. I heard I heard somebody at the door, and I'm like, oh, y'all know how it is when you like a kid, like when you're expecting a package. Oh my God. And I didn't realize it had been 30 minutes too. So it was time for me to get off anyway, because I was trying to keep it to 30 minutes. Y'all, when I'm inside, it's funny how when I'm outside, I'll go like an hour. I'll go 2 hours. But when I'm inside, especially if I'm on my elliptical, if I'm on Ellie, I try to keep it to 30 minutes because I've already been on her for like 45 minutes this morning. So that came right on time because I had lost track of time. I'm telling you, when you start talking, you lose track of time. So let me catch some of these comments. Let me see. Georgia girl says she has a RN. Her daughter's an RN. Yes, girl, and they just RNs. It's one of those fields where you always have a job. But with what we got going on right now, oh my God, like what healthcare, most civil service jobs, you'll always have a job like healthcare, law enforcement, working with the community, Even if it's nonprofit, you may not make a whole lot of money, and then some nonprofits make a lot of money. It just depends on the nonprofit and it depends on the area. But usually those type of places, you always have a job. But sometimes things can get rough and things can get people get evil. Okay, right now we have an evil administration, and in the rural areas, a lot of jobs are being taken away because facilities don't have the money that they need to function. They don't have the money that they need to operate. And guess who voted for these people? A lot of the people who use those facilities. Okay? A lot of the people who use those said facilities have voted for these people, got them in there, knowing that they couldn't afford to vote for them, literally afford to vote for them. They couldn't figuratively afford to vote for them. So, figuratively or literally, they could not afford to vote for them. So now they have voted for them. And now some of those people that you see outside with those signs protesting, guess what? Some of those people are conservative. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. They're the conservatives who don't make a lot of money. But see, they thought that bothering another group of people was the thing to do. See, a lot of times, y'all, hatred and racism stem into one thing: wanting to feel superior. So if you can't feel equal to like the people who have a lot of money, the people who have the resources, the ones that we take care of, those up there in DC, we pay their health care, we pay their insurance costs. All that stuff is free for them. They go to the best this and that. So they're in charge of how things work for everybody else. And what are they doing? They're taking it away from everybody else. So some of the people that voted for them are now looking wild-eyed and crazy as it relates to Social Security, Medicare, health care costs. Now they're looking crazy. So, you know, what do you do? So that being said, I said all that to say this. If you're in healthcare, try your best to hold on to what you got where you work, because every job has some mess, every job has some confusion. Listen, and again, it's still a good field. It's a good field. There's always a shortage of nurses. There's always a shortage of teachers. There's always a shortage of law enforcement. Those type of jobs. There's always a shortage of, even when you're working in the like the food industry. Those jobs, because guess what? A lot of those places have cafeterias. They have snack bars. They have people that need to work in those areas too. So it's a good field, but right now, with these places being shut down, and again, especially in the rural areas, areas that don't have a lot of money anyway, areas that don't have a lot of facilities anyway, try to hang on to your place of employment if you can. They seem always need a nurse. Georgia Girl says Orange Man needs a nurse. Oh my God. Oh my gosh. Georgia Girl. He's so. And then the sad part about it is, even when they know he's a liar. They've always known he's a liar. He's just a prop. He's just a prop for the racist people in this society to get the things done that they want done. And he's the prop that's dumb enough, that's stupid enough, that's ignorant enough to put his name on it. He's the one that's dumb enough to let his name go down in history as the worst ever. And people will say, well, he's the worst ever. How did he get in there twice? Well, he didn't get in there twice back to back, did he? Because he's the worst ever. And when they booted him up out of there, he only got in there the second time. I don't care what nobody says. We ain't running to storm no capital like a lot of other people who have lost their you know what. We don't do that. Certain people don't do that. Only people do that who are afraid of losing control. So when you're afraid of losing control, and he had it on track for the ones that it was beneficial for. So how do we know what happened at the election? It is no way somebody of his character, his integrity, his history will win again. But we don't have those people who will go and try and storm a building and take over and overturn something, even if it needs to be overturned. So that's how he got in there again. Another way he got in there again is because of what I was just talking about. All these places that he's closing, it's affecting people in rural areas. Well, you know who come up out of the mountains and hills and valleys and everywhere to vote for him? People who only have one thing to make them feel superior. It's the color of their skin. If nothing else, if they don't have any money, if they don't have any other type of socioeconomic status, if they don't have any other type of position to make them feel validated, they always have the color of their skin. So they come out and they vote. Period, point blank. They come out and they vote. And that's the way they vote. Right, George Girl, they voted for him. They came out of, crawled up from here, jumped down from there, came out of here, went in there, and they voted for him. So now you have places being closed. So, you know, and it's sad because, again, people who work in those facilities, they went to school. They tell people to go to school. They tell people to, if school's not for you, still find a trade or something to pull yourself up, to work your way up. And then when people do that, you get somebody like him, who everybody in this country is taking care of, and his whole grown family. Ain't that something? You had Clinton in the White House. He only had Chelsea. You had Barack in the White House. He only had Sasha and Malia. You had George, the second George Bush, George W. He only had his two girls. They want to know why the Secret Service is stretched. Because he got a clan in there. Grown kids, grown spouses, grandkids, everybody. Everybody. See, they don't like when you be talking like that. Those numbers they be coming through and stopping by, they be leaving. But they be leaving because it's the mistake that y'all made. Because a lot of y'all did vote for him. So technically, you can't really say if you think it was rigged or not. Because a lot of these people did vote for him because they voted out of hatred. They voted out of hatred. They voted for him. Top says, my son called it disconnected. George Girl says, 4 years of that, Lord, be with us. Okay? Be with us. Please. Just has run amok. And then the sad thing about it is, some of the stuff that he wants to do, if he were to do it the right way, some of it wouldn't be so bad. If he was to do it the way he claimed, getting some of the criminals. This man going after people who just going to work every day trying to send money home to their people. People who have been over here for years the legal way. Maybe they're not citizens yet, but they have a right. They have the proper documentation to be here. And then who sends people out with masks? If what you're doing is legit, when we were supposed to wear masks, they didn't want to wear masks. Ain't that funny? Ain't that funny how things change? When we were supposed to wear a mask, or we needed to wear a mask due to the pandemic, these same tough men didn't want to wear masks. And it was mostly a certain group of men that didn't want to wear masks. But now the mask wearing is something to be applauded, and it's supposed to be for their protection. Why? Because they've been assaulting people. A young man down in Jacksonville, Florida was assaulted in February, and the video has come out. They've been assaulting people without masks. So why they need masks on for their protection now? Why do they need masks for their protection now? They're wearing those masks to intimidate, to scare, to have people shaking in their boots when they see them coming. That's why they're wearing a mask. These are the same type of men, the same group of men. I bet you 99.9% of them are the ones that went to those jobs and went out in public when they said to put on a mask when there was a pandemic. They resisted. They didn't want to do it. It's their body. But they also support the fact that women can't make choices for their bodies. But see, now they want to wear masks for protection. Well, y'all didn't want to wear a mask in 2020 for protection. See, they don't like for you to call that out. They don't like, and it's not hard to call out. You will wear a mask now for protection as you bully people, as you attack people, as you grab people who you may not need to be grabbing, but you didn't want to wear a mask when there was a whole pandemic out here. Crazy. And then they're doing all of this for what? All of this for what? Because as soon as he's out of office, guess what? Those people coming right back. It's still some of them coming in right now. They're coming right back. And truth be told, this land belonged to them anyway. A lot of them anyway. Their ancestors. Yeah, it did. They don't like to hear that. So they start, she talking about the wrong thing. And what's so crazy to me is how he has intimidated not just people, these big companies. It's only certain people standing up to him. But that's okay. Keep standing, because it takes somebody, David and Goliath, right? So it's like the only people standing up to him, Harvard, takes a college. Why are you picking on colleges? Like, you don't want black, brown people educated? You don't want women educated? Your administration shows why there's a need for education. You remove a black man out of a military position to put in an incompetent news reporter? And then this incompetent news reporter blames everybody else and their mama for the mistakes that he makes and the leaks that he allows to happen. Girl, and finally, some of this stuff is like, you know how a lot of times people say it don't matter who they put in there. They're gonna do what they want to do. That's true. But this is the one time I think a lot of people, you got people 60, 70, 80 years old saying they ain't seen nothing like this. And they voted for him. It was one man on the news. He was so embarrassed. He admitted voted for him. But when the man asked him if he would vote again, his pride wouldn't say no. He wouldn't vote for him again. That's just how brainwashed some people are. He's admitting to him doing a lot of things that don't seem too good, that he doesn't like. Even things that have affected his business. But when the reporter said, well, do you regret voting for him? He didn't want to say no on camera. What happened to people having some, I don't know, like some courage? Like, you're saying all this already. You're saying what he did that was wrong. You're saying what he did that's also messing you up as a farmer. You're saying what he did that's also messing other people that you know, messing up their businesses. And so the man asks you if you regret it. So you don't regret voting somebody who has almost cost you your business? Because that's what he said. He didn't know how long he was going to be able to sustain his business because a lot of the people that work for him are brown. So that's when you know that there's a hatred that's so deeply embedded in some people for people who don't look like them till they justify the things that are going on with their own businesses. And he's not justifying it, but he couldn't even stand as a man. Like, what's happening with these men? Like, even the men of a different persuasion who's following him, who don't agree with it, they fall in line. Even if they say, well, no, we need to rethink this or this isn't right, they fall in line. I will say during his last administration, he had some men who stood on knowledge, who stood on what they knew was to be unconstitutional, and they would advise him against it. No matter how prejudiced, racist, bigoted we thought that they were, they stood on some principles. They stood on the grounds of the Constitution. They interpreted for, it's not hard to interpret, okay? And then even when you do find parts of it that you don't really interpret well, lawyers can interpret it for you very clearly. They stood on it. But you have people now who have replaced the Constitution with the Agenda 47, with the Project 2025. So they might take this video down because they want to act like they didn't know what that was. But everything that was in there, if you took the time to read it, and for those who did take the time to read it, we see everything that we were telling people that's in there, that's still in there. We see all of that stuff happening. We see all of that stuff happening. Department of Education, practically gone, but they still want you to pay the school loans back. If you're going to get rid of the Department of Education, then forgive the school loans. Okay. Social Security, what are they trying to do? Brainwash people into thinking that's a Ponzi scheme. So when you start talking a little bit more about people's pockets, especially the money that'll help them when they retire, their ears start to perk up. So even some of those who voted for him are now listening. There's some of the ones out there in those lines with those signs. Medicare took the biggest cut. Obamacare, that basically you have to say John McCain helped save, so you could name it, have his name too, because he was one of the few men that still stood on some principle. Whether he believed in everything or you agree with him or not, he stood on some principle. Now we have racists, bigots, and the only thing they think about is how to fatten their pockets and how to keep people who they consider beneath them in place. That's it. That's all they consider. Got them like they're in a cult or something. Like they're in a cult or something. And the sad part about it is, George Girl, he's not even the leader of the cult. He's not even the leader. He's just the dumb one that doesn't mind taking that position. He's the dumb one that doesn't mind taking the position as the leader. And see, that man doesn't. He wants to be king. But they know that they'll have to have an election. And with all this stuff that they're doing, if a Democrat, they can't find a Democrat strong enough to come back and show these people, and it may not be that they can't find a Democrat that's strong enough. Some people are completely brainwashed. Like that man that just sat there and said his business is about to go under, but he still wouldn't tell the reporter that he regrets voting for him. People will continue to vote against their best interests as long as the color of their skin, something else happens, or as long as they tell them, but you're not in that category. See, you're not black, you're not brown, you're not LGBTQ. You don't have to worry about us attacking you. And at the same time, they're attacking them because they're getting their what? What did Elon say? Social Security is a Ponzi scheme. Well, give people their money. Okay, if it's a Ponzi scheme and you want to get rid of it, then give everybody all of their money right now that they've accumulated. If you want to call it a Ponzi scheme, because some people don't like the government being in control of their assets and their money anyway, because Social Security belongs to you. If you paid it, I don't care if you only have $1,000 worth. If you have $10,000 worth, it belongs to you. If you worked and you don't get it for any other reason, you worked, it belongs to you. And if you get it due to disability or something, it belongs to you. If you've never worked, they give money and waste it every day on other places. So it belongs to you. But he's like silencing people. Look at how he did CBS. They done got rid of the whole Colbert show. Then let this man go talking about it's not financially feasible. All because they want a merger. And last I checked, Obama, Clinton, because they said he was too much not like the average person. Okay. Even George W. couldn't have done the things that they're doing right now. They could not have done the things that they're doing. Mingling business with the presidency. Mixing business with the presidency. But it's only because it's him. And I'm not going to even say it's because he's a Republican, because there are some other Republicans in the past who had enough integrity not to even try it. But of course, now that he's opened the door, when another one gets in, he's going to try it. So it's like all you can really do is pray, ask people to vote, and hope that they do vote, and hope that they don't steal and take. And the reason I say I know this one wasn't legit is because when Elon got ticked off, he threatened to let it all out. They get mad, and he gives us just enough to let us know this man shouldn't be in the White House. But the White House just wasn't ready for a black woman. Same way it wasn't ready for Barack. Because that's his mission now, to try and undo anything he did. And anything he can't undo, he blames him for it. And when anything else comes up, that's his fault. This Jeffrey Epstein stuff happened during his administration, right? But everybody else is to blame for it. Now he barely knew the man. I'm like, this man sits here, and I know there are people behind him that push these stupid agendas that he has, but this idiot sits up and just says the most ridiculous things ever. The most ridiculous things you ever want to hear possible. And you got people sitting back, eating it up. It's crazy. Okay, I didn't want them to hear the TV. Y'all know they copyright you. When you're having a conversation that they don't want you to have, and then they hear the TV, they can say, well, she's speaking. We hadn't shut it down yet, but if we hear that TV, they'll try and copyright you for what you got on your TV. I'm like, he's literally, Harvard is standing up to him. Some of the other colleges, too, have stood up to him. They've band together to say what they want. They're going to try not to allow. But my thing is, the stuff that he's doing, the courts are in place to stop that. And some of the courts have stopped some of the things that he's doing. But then when he takes it to the higher court, to the Supreme Court, 90% of the relevant things, they go along with him. Every now and again, they'll make a decision against him, and it's not really something that's going to help anybody, right? All the things that he's doing to hurt people, they go along with it. because he set it up just the way he wanted it. So all the things that he's doing now, 90% of it, they go along with it. So when you have a Congress who's supposed to be there to check and balance him, who's afraid of him, who will ask how many times if he says lick the ground, and you have a Supreme Court who is set up to do whatever he wants, then it's hard to fight, but you got to keep fighting. And a lot of these places now are starting to see that you just got to keep fighting. 4 years is a long time to deal with somebody. And it's sad. When you get of a certain age, you're not trying to rush time. Okay? But you got people who are literally saying, okay, it's been 7 months or it's been 6 months, 3 years and so many months, and he's out of there. It's sad. Got them like it's just sad. It's sad, it's ridiculous, and like my granny used to say, it's a pity and a scandal and a shame. And it definitely is a scandal, because I hadn't seen one president that has mixed business with the presidency as much as this one. Outright, openly in your face. In the other courts, when they do stop it, he goes straight to the Supreme Court. You know how many people would love to get their case in front of the Supreme Court? Do y'all know how many people would love to get their cases in front of the Supreme Court? But they can't get their cases in front of the Supreme Court because it takes years. But this idiot is out here doing stuff that really shouldn't even be going to the Supreme Court. It should be being decided by other federal courts. But he gets a decision and he doesn't like it, and they shoot it straight to the Supreme Court. I don't care if he is the president. No president should be allowed to just overjump all other cases and head straight to the Supreme Court. What kind of mess is that? You got people who are locked up who may truly be innocent. And of course, people love to say, well, everybody in jail is innocent. There are some people who are truly innocent. Their cases have been waiting to hit the Supreme Court for years and years. But you got this idiot. If somebody won't stop talking about him, he wants to shoot it to court. And when the court makes a decision he's not satisfied with, he wants to shoot some stuff to the Supreme Court. It's crazy. It's dumb. It's low down. It's evil. It's dirty. It's ridiculous. It's a scandal, and it's a shame. Never seen somebody who lies so much. Like, that's the worst thing you can be, is just a habitual liar. Everybody has told a lie. But to be a habitual liar, just lie. Just lie. Everything that comes out of your mouth is a lie. You're crazy. Like you can't believe it. Sometimes people say, oh, they lie so much they really believe those lies. No, they don't. No, they don't. Because it takes a lie for some people is hard to tell. But when a lie becomes easy to tell, that means that's all you do. You're good at it. You're habitual. You're not good at it, but you're habitual. Lies feel victimized by that man. It's sad when when a lie flows off your tongue so easily. You're just a habitual liar, and you know that you're lying, but it's intentional. It's intentional. If you lie because you're afraid, if you lie because you get scared, if you lie because you've done something wrong and you lying about something over and over, like when we're growing up, your parents ask you about something. Well, when you tell that one lie, you're going to keep lying to try to cover that lie, right? Well, then when you do something else, you're going to try not to lie about that. Maybe 2 or 3 things down the line, you'll lie again about something because you don't want to get in trouble. But when you lie and there's not even trouble for you to get into, like, who's going to mess with him? The Supreme Court has made him untouchable as a president while he's in office. Those 34 felony counts, the other people who you still can face those state prosecutors. He's going to have to face them regardless for the things that don't run out, the statute of limitations that don't run out. He's still going to have to deal with that. But just other stuff, like, he just lies. He'll say something right now, and within the conversation, within a minute or two, he'll lie about it. That's intentional. That's habitual. And that's the worst kind of liar. That's beyond narcissistic. People love to throw around the term narcissist. Especially our community, when a word starts to become popular or cute to say, but that's beyond narcissistic. He's diabolically narcissistic. Just lie. Just tell a lie just on a whim, just lie. He could be standing at the podium Reporters are waiting trying to figure out what they want to ask him next, or just a pause. He'll take that opportunity to lie. When you just lie because you like to lie, or lie, y'all know how people like to. Some of them they'll say embellish. I stretch the truth. You still told a lie. You can call it a white lie. You can call it an embellishment. You can call it a stretching the truth. That's just like if the fireworks, if you 4th of July, the fireworks were maybe like, maybe went on to like 1 or 2 in the morning. And then you got 2 or 3 of the neighbors saying they were still shooting fireworks at 8 o'clock this morning. They embellished. That's a full out lie. That's just a lie. To them, they'll say they embellished, but that's a lie. You know? So somebody who lies intentionally, yeah, they have a problem with being a habitual liar, but they know what they're doing. They know they're lying. Those are the people that go back at the end of the day at night when they're with their spouse or their friends, their homies or whatever, and they laugh about the lies that they told. So some people say he can't help it. Don't some people who lie like that can't help it? Yes, they can, because they know exactly what they're doing. Because when you lie like that, you're lying to either one, justify a wrong, or to try and convince people that they're wrong, or to cover your wrong. Whatever it is, you're lying for a reason that's not good. So it's been an hour, y'all, and I'm about to get out of here. I got my package. I'm happy. I did my 30. It was like 34 minutes. I planned to be on there 30 minutes. When the door, I heard the alarm, and the company came in, and I saw my package. I was like, wait a minute. Y'all know what it is to get a package and to get the package early. Okay? You know what it's like to get something you ordered and to get it early. So I'm about to get out of here, y'all. Y'all know what I always tell you. Don't let bothered people bother you. Okay? Because some people, I'm telling you, they talk about the word narcissist. Some people are diabolically narcissistic. Some people are obsessive. Some people become obsessed with you. Some people become obsessed with lying. They become obsessed with doing anything, that's not really conducive to good behavior, to showing that you have good behavior, that you have integrity, that you have morals. Some people will just do whatever. Like that man they call him president. Okay, just do whatever. And don't care who it hurts, don't care who it bothers. So try not to let bothered people bother you. Usually you'll feel like they're not bothered. Like they can't be bothered because they're bothering everybody else. It's something that bothers them. It's just like the clown in charge, the clown in chief. It bothers him so much that a black man was president, that he's still, this is going on. He was president for 4 years himself. Then we had Biden for 4 years. Well, when Barack ran, you can count that 4 years, the 8 years that he was in, the 4 years he was in, that's 12. Biden was in for, he's had an obsession with Barack almost 20 years. At least 4 presidencies. Barack's 2 terms, his term, and Biden's term. He's had an obsession. So you got to be some type of mentally miserable to have an obsession with one man due to the color of his skin and due to the fact that he ascended to the highest office in the land. Come on, he was half white. But y'all know what they say, any drop is too much. Any drop is too much. And especially with it being that his daddy was the one that was black and his daddy was African. Barack is the true definition of African American, much more so than the average African American. His daddy was full-blooded African. That bothers this joker every day, every night, every minute of the day. And so anything that Barack did that he can't change, he tries to diminish or lie about it. Just think about that. If you have to feel so much hatred toward a person, that they're what you think of when you go out of the country, they're what you think of when you talk to other people, they're what you think of when they hold you accountable for the wrong things that you do, there's the person that you think of throughout anything, you definitely have something that's beyond narcissism going on. Okay? You're diabolically narcissistic. You got to get that straightened out. But at his age, with his attitude, he likes the way he is. He likes the way he is. When a person likes being evil, there's nothing you can do. When a person outright says that they do no wrong, there's nothing that you can do. When a person believes that they do no wrong, that means they believe that they are perfect. And y'all know none of us are perfect. We're imperfectly perfectly us, but none of us are perfect. So don't let bother people bother you. Something is bothering this man, and Barack isn't bothered. Barack is bothered by so much more other stuff, but he's not bothered by him. But he's definitely bothered by Barack. He calls Barack name as if, did we not just have 4 years of President Biden? Which he shouldn't be calling on Biden. But it's almost like if he does say Biden, he has to time to Barack because, of course, he hates that he was his vice president. Then he hates that Biden whooped his butt. Still like the biggest presidential win ever. But yeah, it was rigged. It was rigged enough for them to go up to the Capitol to act a fool. Biggest landslide ever. He lies that he had a landslide win over Kamala Harris. That's a lie. That's why I'm like, nah, that's a lie. And everything they do from now on in this country, you can't really even trust it. And I honestly see so many people who can. Y'all, they're moving. Like the celebrities, Ludacris, Khalees, those people have moved to Africa. And they're enjoying themselves. Do you know how many people really do wish that they could move to another country? See, people get so mad and they say, oh, well, if you want to go to another country, go to another country. It's not that easy. That's just like telling somebody, well, if you live in the projects, just move. It's not that easy. They don't have the resources. They don't have the finances to just get up out of the projects. Yes, some of them look like they do. They may appear that they do, but appearance can fool you. Okay? Appearance can fool you. Everybody who's in low income housing doesn't love being in low income housing. They would love to have a nice house, nice material things that they can show, like I work for this or I earn this. This country does have poverty, okay? Everybody who's in public housing doesn't love or enjoy being in public housing, just like everybody in a trailer park doesn't love being in a trailer park. So people are really truly moving. And so for those who have that arrogant attitude of, well, if they really were unsatisfied, they'd move so they can't be too unsatisfied. That's a lie. A lot of people are unsatisfied, but they don't have the means to move out of the country. Some people don't have the means to move to the next state, let alone out of the country. So don't let bother people bother you. Don't let stress people stress you out, because stressed people will stress you out. People who are stressed out, if they can, they will stress you out more. All right? And if you find yourself in a misery lounge, that could be at home. You don't have to deal with that. Get up. Take a break. If it's your mate, your spouse you ticked off, your kids getting on your nerves, go take a break. Go walk around the mall, walk around the strip mall, walk around the complex, the trail, the track, the school. Go walk up and down the street. Go do something. All right? Grab your grip and leave. Grab your water bottle and go walk. Go to the gym. Go do something. If the lounge is somebody else's platform, just like Georgia Girl was saying yesterday, it's your platform. Do what you want to do on your platform. If somebody doesn't like what you're doing on your platform, leave. They can leave. Just like when you go to somebody's platform, if you don't enjoy what they're doing or you don't like what they're doing, you leave. Right? So if somebody comes and try to make you change what you're doing, no, they can grab their grip and they can go. And if you're somewhere and you don't feel like it's a good place to be, grab your grip and go. GYGAG. Grab your grip and go. All right? And y'all know what it is. I wish y'all peace, positivity, and prosperity. And y'all already know why. Okay? Because peace is the requirement. It can be the reward, but peace is the requirement. Okay? And once you make peace the requirement, it'll automatically be your reward. Peace is the requirement. And once you make it a requirement, it'll automatically be your reward. And think of it like that. Peace is the R and R. Peace can be a lot of R's. Because y'all know we talk about R words. Peace can be the requirement, the reward, the rest, the release, the resolve, the resolution, okay, the reset, the refocus, the reimplementation, the reevaluation. Peace. It most definitely can be a reward, but make sure that you make it your requirement. So I wish y'all peace, positivity, and prosperity, because without peace, it's going to be chaos. Without positivity, there's negativity. Wherever chaos and negativity live together, you fail to prosper to your fullest potential. We all want to prosper to our fullest potential so that we can walk peacefully and patiently into our purpose. peacefully and patiently and purposefully into your purpose. See, over here in Lions Pride, we just dropped nuggets. Hopefully y'all pick up some of the nuggets. Cause even when y'all drop some of the nuggets that you drop, you need to pick them back up too. Cause when I try to drop nuggets, I'm dropping nuggets for me. All right? It ain't just for other people, it's for me. So sometimes in order for us to pick up a nugget, we have to drop the nugget for somebody else. So I will see you guys on the next Let's Walk and Talk in Lions Pride. Bye, y'all. Thank you, Georgia Girl. Thank you, Top. It was just Georgia Girl and Top in here today. Yesterday we had, I don't know what my girls did from yesterday. I don't know what my brothers did. They was up in here. Big Kane, Lawrence, uh, Stefan, Georgia Girl was in here. Joyelle, the Lioness. We had a blast. And we had a blast today too, y'all. It's already been over an hour. I'm about to get out of here. So y'all have a good day. Have a great rest of your week. Do so on purpose. Do so purposefully. All right. And I'll see you guys on the next Let's Walk and Talk original in Lions Pride. Hopefully on tomorrow. If it's the Lord's will, it'll be tomorrow. Bye, y'all.